Jacob Stevens, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hey, thank you for the Works race report. It's the final one of the year, round nine in Taft. Looked like the turnout from the results was really, really good.
Yeah, no, from what I heard, the turnout was amazing, which was super good for them. I was a little worried that when they pushed it to Prim or moved it from Prim to Taft, that it was going to get a little less of a turnout, but they seemed like they did pretty well.
I think it actually increased. Some people like to run at Prim, some people like Taft. It depends on what you're looking for. I think Taft is an excellent venue. I think Prim was an excellent venue. Um, as we talked about last show, I don't think we're going back to Prim.
Yeah, the rumors I've heard, I don't think we are either, but I don't think anything's guaranteed, but I don't think it's looking too good.
No. Well, we'll just move on. I don't think going to the far out portions in Utah are going to work out for us right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, I agree. I don't think that those are suitable for a lot of people, especially like the young kids that are in school and stuff. It's hard for them to get out to a race that's, 14 plus hours away for just about everybody in the series.
I know. The motocross guys, they from March to what is it, August,
Yeah, usually August.
they run the whole series.
Yeah. So like a lot of the even when I was in school and was running the outdoors, you know, I didn't miss a lot just because a lot of the races were over summer. I think there was maybe one or two races that inflicted with school, maybe three at the most. But it was really only one or two, and you took a couple days off of school, and then we got to do those. But there was even years where I had to skip a race just because I couldn't get off school. So definitely is a little harder out here when the season is pretty much all school year. Every race is during the school year, so it's tough for them to get that amount of time off, I think.
Well, yeah, and then they take that big summer break when people have it off.
Right.
That's when you should be racing.
Yeah, I agree. Which they do it because of the heat and all that stuff, which is fair, but maybe have a northern race during the summer rather than
Are
taking
we
the whole
are we
summer
off
off.
road racing, or are we off road racing,
That's
or
what I mean. Hey,
I
I
mean, come on.
just the schedule out here is weird. It's weird that we race for a few months, then we're off for a few months, then we continue the season. I never. It was definitely something that I've never experienced before.
And okay, if you're worried about the heat, so you take the pro class, cut it into a Saturday moto and a Sunday moto.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing with some of the other stuff, some of the other classes, and cut them into whatever, so they shorten them up for the heat.
Shorten them up a little bit. Yeah. I mean, I don't think people would mind. I
Yeah,
mean,
run 40 minutes.
a
Run them
lot some of
40.
the races they go to now are still ungodly hot. So I mean, what are we or, I think the difference between 105 and 115 is it doesn't feel that different to me personally.
It doesn't feel anything to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't mind the heat. I would rather race during the heat portion
Yeah,
of
I would rather race
the.
during the heat during the cold 100%. Yep. I do not like riding during the cold.
Yeah, it's just not my gig. So I got to have a brief conversation with Beau Baron, and I've seen some social media posts from him. We'll just cover this a little different than we normally do. We'll talk about some of the positions, and we'll just bounce around a little bit here. He's not retiring,
Nope.
but he didn't commit to a full season either.
Correct. At least
So
that's what I saw on social media. That's what he said.
yeah, and I don't know. He probably rode the hybrid. At least I believe he did. I
I'm
couldn't
not
tell.
sure. I'm not sure. They look the same, so I'm not 100% sure on that, but he did go out and get the job done and secure the championship. So whatever he rode, he made sure that it was on point to get the job done.
And it looked like he just held a commanding lead the whole day.
Yeah, I believe Braxton got the whole shot, and Beau made the pass, I think, first lap, and just kind of didn't look back.
And something happened to Braxton because
Yep.
he ended up fourth.
Yep. Yeah, and I saw from Max on his post on social media too. He said he struggled, which I don't know. I don't know, man. I really was, when we talked about it last episode, I was, or Friday, before the race, I was thinking that he was gonna be more comfortable here than he's been anywhere else. But according to his post, he said he really struggled with the track and like the dirt and stuff like that. So I'm not too sure why or the reasons he struggled with it, but I'm a little surprised he struggled. I mean, he still got on the box, but he's still figuring it out.
Right. And he set fast lap time. And he didn't just set the fast lap time. If he would have maintained that pace, he'd have won by 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So he was drastically faster for his one lap than Beau was.
Yeah.
And you can't take anything away from Beau.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, those fast laps, I've been on the top of the fast lap for the whole race, and I don't know if I don't know if anybody can run that pace, your fastest pace for the whole moto. So, out here racing Worcs, um, it's about the consistency of lap times, and Beau is one of the greatest at just keeping it consistent and having a really good pace.
So let me ask you this, based on your professional setup, do you believe that the man should walk away, retire, or race a partial season, or go for that 12th season? Because he
I
did.
don't. It's
Yeah, yeah.
tough. It's tough for me because um, obviously this is his living. This is how he makes a living. Racing is his job. So a part of me says, if you're getting paid to do it, why walk away from it? If you're making a sustainable living doing this, then why walk away from it? I personally don't know how much he makes. That's obviously personal information, but he's been doing it for God knows how many years.
20
I don't
plus.
know, 20 plus, and I mean he's been able to sustain it and live and race. So I don't know. It'd be tough for me to walk away from it if I was making a sustainable living and providing for my family from it. Definitely would be a different outlook if he's physically not able to do it anymore, if he's mentally just kind of done. I don't know. I don't know. He's been doing it for so long, and he's done a lot, and I almost want to say that every athlete in every sport eventually gets to a breaking point, in any aspect of it. Once you get to a breaking point in one of the aspects of it, it just kind of like the motivation just kind of slows and almost just feels like it's that time to walk away from it.
Do you think it has something to do with building a new machine and having the speed bumps and the issues with that machine?
I
Because
don't.
you know as well as I do that cost him a race.
Yeah,
That
it's
machine
definitely.
cost him at least 2 wins.
Yeah, and this year, I mean, he even said it's been one of his toughest seasons, ever, is what he said in his post. So, um, I don't know. I don't think that the challenge of this year was the reason behind it. He talks about hanging it up every single year, and then obviously he doesn't end up hanging it up. So if you know, in my opinion, he might say he's only doing a few. I'll believe it when I see it when he doesn't show up to one.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. Um, Travis Damon comes out, pulls second,
Mm-hmm.
runs strong all day, coming off of a wedding. Sure that he's getting ready to go on a honeymoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a great ride. They
Yeah.
had quite a few entries, which I like to see that.
Yeah, there was a good group of them there, huh? I don't know if Roberto Villalobos raced. I know he was there, but I don't think he lined up. Not too sure what had happened with him.
You never know.
Yeah,
He's been kind of wishy-washy for the last 2 years,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So who knows?
I'm not too sure if I remember talking about him getting on the Yamaha, so I'm not sure if maybe the machine or he wasn't comfortable. I'm not too sure, but I heard that he didn't line up.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe he didn't feel comfortable.
Yeah,
And that guy's been riding a long time too. If you
Yeah.
don't feel comfortable, don't do it. Right.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
So who knows what happened there? I'd like to know what went on with Braxton. I got to talk to him before the race, but not after. So I may have to schedule some type of call with him just to find out what's going on. Love to see Max on the podium
Yeah.
after the year he had in motocross, where he couldn't get out of seventh place. I think that he needed this, and maybe this rejuvenates him and re-energizes him for next year. Or I've also heard a small rumor that he could end up on the West Coast racing.
Yeah. I'm not too sure what he's gonna do. I heard a couple different rumors. Um, but you know, hopefully we keep seeing him out there on the track, and regardless of if he's East Coast or West Coast, as long as he's, making it happen, then, I think we all support him.
Yeah, I agree. Even if he chose to hang it up,
Yeah.
I think it'd be way premature. I think his uh, his emotional standpoint might be damaged. His psyche might be damaged a little bit, but he's 19 years old. He's got so much potential
Yeah.
and growth. So I hope he stays, whether it's on the East or the West, it doesn't matter to me. I hope he stays in the group.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, there's a little bit of uncertainty with everybody. I know Braxton's coming back. I believe Damon's coming back. I haven't heard it from
Yeah.
him.
Pretty sure Damon's coming back. I heard some rumors that Braxton wanted to go back east and do the GNCC series, but I'm not too sure if that idea got shut down, or, if he's only going to do a couple. I'm not too sure what his plans are, but I know for sure he does plan to race the Works series. I don't know if all of it, but um after the season he just had, I don't see why he wouldn't.
Yeah, I can't see him. 3 wins,
Yeah.
rookie season, and it's taken some guys. I think Damon's on his third season.
Yeah.
He only got what, one or two?
I think two.
Yeah,
Two. Yeah, two.
I
Yeah.
think it's. I
I
think
think
it
it's
might
two.
be one
No, it's two. He got one.
this year,
He got
last
one
year.
this year. He got one this year and one last year. Yeah.
Yep, so it's two. Yeah, so I mean, you look at that though that, and you don't know, and we still don't know what's up um, with the Stanford boys, what they're going to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. I'm not too sure what they're gonna do. I don't know. Like I said before, I'm not too sure if they're just kind of burnt out, need a little bit of break, or if they're hanging it up entirely. Whatever they decide to do, I'm sure that, it's gonna be best for them.
Yeah, they have to make the decisions for them. Yeah, but they,
Hmm.
they have such a good deal with the tire thing. I can't see them stopping
Yeah.
coming to pieces.
I don't think they'll. I don't think that they're gonna stop coming. I don't think that they could. I think that it's their company is too, involved with the series and all that stuff, that I think that they might just have to. Um, but I'm not too sure what the future holds for them racing.
Yeah, I'd love to be a little birdie on the windowsill listening to that conversation to have some insight to it. You never know. I seen that one of the A riders jumped up into the pro class to test the waters, so we'll see. He didn't have a very good race, unfortunately, but we'll see where it goes for next year.
Yeah.
Uh, Speaking of the pro am, Steadman had a DNF and took him right off the podium for the year.
Yep.
Cole, having a great race, bumped him into the two spot, um, and his sister and it got third. But man, that's got to be heartbreaking for
Yeah.
Steadman to go from second or third in points to off the podium.
Yeah. No, that's tough. And I mean, it sucks, but it's part of the sport, and it can all go away in one race. And you never know what's gonna happen. You just gotta make sure that your equipment's top notch, and you're staying on top of things. And even if you are, still at the end of the day, anything can happen. So, sucks for him. Um, Sorry about, that. That's not a way to lose. It's a tough way to lose.
It is. It is. It's a tough way not to have the season that he had, which was pretty good,
Yeah,
and then it'll just all go away on the last race.
yeah,
That's just horrible, horrible for him. I
yeah.
feel bad. Um, Torey,
Undefeated.
perfect.
Yep, perfect
Nine
season.
wins for the year,
Very
not
impressive.
counting how many. I think she won all but one last year.
Yep, I think so too. Yeah,
So she's like on one hell of a win streak as far as how many wins, plus the all the wins that she had when it wasn't a pro class, when it was just women's A, all the wins she had there. So
yeah.
yeah,
Congrats to her. That's incredibly impressive to go undefeated.
and that's a legacy right there.
Yeah,
She's stamping out her um future. I mean, what are you gonna do? But there's no place that we can send all the Works racers, you know, there's no Canton for them.
right,
So it's just going to be us knowing how good she was and how many seasons she dominated.
right.
But yeah, it's got to take your hat off to her. She's dominating that division. Um, and from the looks of it, I don't see any contenders.
I mean, yeah, those girls got some work to compete. I think. That's. I don't even know where my head mindset would be going into next season if I was those girls. Obviously they know what they need to work on. They know what they're up against. She's not going anywhere, and she's going to be just as fast, if not faster, next year. So, they really got to put their head down and get to work and see if they can improve a little bit more than Torey will.
Yeah, the fast lap times, when you look at the lap times, second place is still 15 seconds a lap slower.
Yeah, it's insane.
Um,
It's crazy.
That's yeah. I mean, she won the race by almost freaking 2 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy.
So, and I'm not saying anything against them.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Laney's had some ups and downs. Um, I kind of expected a little bit more out of her this year. Maybe there were some ups and downs, some things going
Yeah,
on behind the
definitely
scenes
some
that I'm
some
not.
ups and downs. She's got some good speed. I think that there's just a couple loose nuts that need to be, tightened down on their end and um, you know, that be, machine fitness mentality. I'm not too sure exactly what it is, but I'm pretty sure she's pretty confident in what she knows, what she needs to work on. Um, Hopefully she can come out and give Tori a run for her money next year.
Yeah, let's hope so. Her brother sure has been making a transformation. If
Yeah.
you look at photos of him in the beginning of the year to now, he's slimming down.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to be, when his machine's functional, he's on and he's
Yeah.
going to win.
Mm-hmm.
So you could
I mean,
possibly see him next year.
every race every race that he ended up DNF and he was leading before he broke. He's led a lot of laps this year, and it's tough that DNFs put him out of the championship, but that's part of it. So they like I said, they got some things to work on, and I'm sure they've learned a lot this year. I'm not too sure if he's going pro or not next year. I know that him and his dad have been talking about possibly moving up, possibly staying back for another season. He's young, so I think he's the same age as Braxton, 17.
Yeah, so there's no rush, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
no, absolutely not.
You know, Braxton won that title. That was a choice for them.
Yeah,
Staying down, I don't believe was an option
yeah,
because he had a two-time
yeah.
champion. Uh,
I'm sure if a couple of the other pro am riders move up, it's going to be a little intrusive for Cole to move up. Um, Obviously we don't want to see something like Cole go out there and everybody that's in pro am just kind of can't even really get near him. We all like to watch some exciting racing. So, hopefully that if some of the top three, top four riders from pro am end up making the move up, I think it would be the right call for Cole to move up as well. But you know, at the end of the day, it's all on their decisions on what they want to do.
You know, I only seen the one rider that tried it. Um, I have not heard any ripplings through the waters of any of those other guys advancing.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what they plan on. You know, I hope to see some new faces in the pro class. You know, it's always good for the turnout in the sport to get some more riders up there, but you know, I'm not too sure what's going to come out of it.
Well, you know, Beau's going to be at all the Works races because his daughter uh,
Hmm.
said on social
Yeah,
media
which we're
that she's moving
going
up to the pro
going
class.
back to that. It's just about him. I don't know how he's not gonna be able to just sit there and watch. There's no way if he's going to every one and he's not gonna race. I don't believe it. Like I said before, I believe him not racing when he doesn't line up on Sunday.
Yeah, why don't they move the women's pro class to the same deal as the men's pro class, and it's an hour and a half race on Sunday or on the same day that the pros are going to race.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool too. I think that they don't just because then the women's can run pro am as well. But I don't I don't know. I think that the pro am and the pro day should be two separate days, two separate shows.
Yeah, because then it gives a chance for the pros to come and race the pro am
Yeah, or vice
and make
versa.
it a 50% payout
Hmm.
instead of the 100% payout, so that if you race the pro am, you can make a little bit of dough. That's traditionally how it's supposed to go.
Right, that's how nationals went. You know, the ATV nationals back east. That's how GNCC works. So, oh no, that's not how GNCC works. I'm pretty sure pro am they all race in the same race.
They don't even
Um,
pro am.
they don't even. Yeah, that's
SC2 is the
XC2 and XC1. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't know. I think that you know they should be a little split up. I think that it would be better for a lot of these pro am riders to get their feet wet in pro, have the opportunity to race both if they want to, rather than all these A class and women's pro and all these other classes getting the opportunity to race pro am. I think that there could be a way that it all could happen in the same weekend, but um, maybe pro on Saturday, pro am on Sunday. That's how the nationals do it. You're able to race both. Some people do, some people don't. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think that there could be some ways that it could be figured out, but I'm not too sure how the back end of the scheduling works on Works's end.
Do you think they're going to get rid of the open style classes?
I'm not, I don't know. That's tough. I don't think that they will. Just that it gives people options. Um,
Yeah, because I can see that if things keep going with the sport ATVs, the Raptor 700 is going to be a machine that you're going to see more and more people racing because you can't get anything but a Yamaha
right.
450.
And I think that if any class goes in the next few years with any ATV racing, it's going to be the production classes.
Right. Yeah, you do have a point there.
Hmm.
Um, what do you think about, because Raptor 250s are getting harder and harder to come by? You see that some of these, this is a dirty word, excuse me, but you see some of these knockoff Chinese 250 quads that they're bringing in. Can you see that a couple of those models rolling into the racing scene?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, as long as it's a machine that some of these builders can make something out of, yeah, I think that they could be something. If these mechanics and engine builders and four wheeler builders that are out here can't come up with parts or you know if they can't do much with them, I don't know if they will. I think it'll all come down to the aftermarket side of things when that comes about. You know, Wrath making Nerf bars for them, or you know, engine builders, being able to put bigger, better engines in them, different pistons, all that stuff, A arms, suspension, that's all gonna take into factor, I think, on if people are gonna use them or not.
I kind of agree. I kind of agree. But there's got to be some type of transition machine because we're running out of Raptor 250s. Uh,
We're running out of Hondas. We're running out of. There's a lot of. I don't know. I hope something happens. I hope something happens soon. I think worst case
It's
scenario,
a hybrid.
it's going to be a hybrid world.
Yeah, and if they control it correctly, it'll be okay. If they
Yeah.
don't, we're in deep doo doo.
It's
Because
going to push a lot of people away, I think,
well,
if
yeah,
if they
if
don't do it the right way.
if they don't have that CRF 150 motor, you know, what 150 are you gonna put in that chassis?
Well, nowadays, I mean, now back east with the super mini class, I mean, they're putting Cowies in, KTM's in, Husqvarna's in. You could put just about any motor in
Do
a
they have a
quad
150?
nowadays. Oh yeah. I know Zach Decker used to run KTM motors in his. A couple people ran CRF motor. A lot of people choose CRFs. I know a couple people that have um YFZ hybrids with YZ 450 motors in them. Yeah, I mean, there's a kit out there to put just about any dirt bike motor in any four wheeler frame.
Yeah, we'll
I
see
think
what
the I
happens
think
on the West Coast.
the biggest problem I think with all of it, and I mean I've said this before, and I stand by it, me personally. I don't think hybrids are the worst decision in the world, but it's going to push a lot of people out that can't afford them, and then are forced to still run a production quad and then cannot compete on that production quad. Because I
So
mean, you
you
put
think
a
this,
you put a super mini bike from the nationals up against a Raptor 250, a Raptor 250 is not it's not going to keep up. It's not going to even be comparable to compete, and I think that it's going to push a lot of people away for the fact that they can't afford what these other people can afford, and then it comes a money game, and then that's where I see it going, unfortunately. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully there's some regulation on it, but um that's what I started to see in the national series back east. A lot of people started racing hybrids, and a lot of the production people that just couldn't afford to build a Walsh hybrid or something that they just couldn't compete, and a lot of these people got frustrated with it. And luckily for the national series, they kept those production classes, they kept the open classes, and gave everybody a chance to competitively race. So hopefully it stays regulated enough that it doesn't make things worse in a way.
we're gonna have to see because I'm reluctant because I think that it's gonna hurt us in the long run.
I I agree.
Who's got $30,000 drop on a quad? And they'll go, well, then they're going to demand discounts from the builders and the manufacturers. Wait a minute, that's not what we're here to do. We're not in business to give discounts.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll raise the retail price so that we can give you a discount, so that we can make a margin, so that we can pay our employees. Uh, yeah,
I don't know. I'm not too sure what's going to come about it. I know that even Michael Walsh was in the process of making his quad into a production his hybrids into a production quad. So I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what's going to come in the next couple of years. I think I think we're safe for a couple of years, but I don't think anybody can even put a rough guesstimate on where the racing series is are going to be in 5 years.
what about if we shift gears here a little bit, the XC world has a 10-year rule. 2024 is the last year you're able to run the Honda.
Yep.
You still have
I
people.
think that I think that if they're still obtainable and people are still building them, I think that they might I think that they might extend that rule before they let hybrids into the pro classes. Because that's an AMA rule. That's also a rule for ATV motocross as well.
I did not know that.
Yep, that's an AMA rule. Although I don't think there's a single person in the pro class that's going to be racing 24 that's not on a Yamaha in the MX world. But I mean, that is also a rule in ATV
So
MX as well.
how did the guys in the nationals, in the pro class, get to ride the Suzukis?
I think that I mean, a lot of these people, you can just write petitions to the AMA, and a lot of people,
Get a waiver.
yeah.
Okay.
Maybe I don't know, maybe it's not then. I don't know. I could have swore it's an AMA rule. The 10-year
I
rule
don't
is an
think it
AMA
is. I
is an
don't
AMA
think it
rule.
is. I think
You
it's a
think it's just a GNCC rule?
yep.
Yeah, but they've been running Suzuki's
No, there's no Suzuki's running in
right
the
now, maybe, but they
what?
were a couple years ago.
Uh, the
Chris Borch rode one for a while, and Wesley Wolf rode one. Wesley Wolf rode a Suzuki all the way until he stopped racing
nine.
GNCC in the pro class, which I'm pretty sure his last season was 2021.
I don't think he was riding a Suzuki.
He wasn't riding a Honda.
Mhm. I get it, but I don't think he was riding a Suzuki
I don't
because
know.
because KTM, one of the KTM guys on the bike side wants to run a KTM quad. So they were out looking for a 450 so that he could come run it
When was
when
the
he
last year that was made? '07?
nine.
Was it 2009?
I think it's
Same
9.
year as Suzuki?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I heard a couple people that, I mean, wanted to race Cowies in the Nationals, so I don't know. Maybe it's,
What were
I
they?
don't
What?
know. Yeah, there was one guy that wanted to, he built a Cowie. He raced Pro-Am on it. He never raced, he never raced pro on it, but he built a Cowie.
Poor
Found
guy.
one, bunch of pieces and built a Cowie.
Poor guy.
I'm not too sure if it worked out too well for him, but it might be
He
sitting in his garage as an ornament for him now.
went through a lot of parts for trying to make that Kawasaki work.
I
Yeah,
believe
not as much. We didn't spend as much money as Kawasaki did, but my God,
that. Yeah.
it's frustrating because it run great one race, and the next race you're chasing an electrical problem again.
Right. Right.
I got sick and tired of that bike. Oh my God. But
Yeah.
is what it is.
Yeah.
2024 is going to be coming soon. We're going to have to sit down and discuss what we see coming. We're going to start having to reach out and have conversations with everybody to see who's coming back, who isn't. And we'll have to have the 2024 startup show. I hope that you'll be back for us next year, and we can continue.
Yeah. I think it's definitely probably gonna happen for sure.